Well, listen, everybody, I would like to tell you about Yazekitusan, my country. I'm a micronation, and I have become a absolute monarch. So, to get started, I would like to tell you today about Yazekitusan. I am the island Yazekitusan. Okay, water encompasses me to live. My micronation is ran by my nucracy alone. Therefore, I'm an absolute monarch. Here I will tell you of Yazekitusan and its way. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should still yet serve transnational corporations rather so for the primary service of humanity's good. I'd always support my country whether it was right or wrong. No one chooses his or her country of birth, so why not be proud of it? Our race has many superior qualities, compared with other races. No savage doubts so their own dignity. All civilized people. Only so whom acts as such is not true is false, known as uncivil, and therefore without honor of integrity. They must be dismissed. They dismiss their own. The enemy of my enemy may still yet be my friend, an ox for a horse, navigation for agriculture, negation not exchanged. Military action that defies international law is sometimes is sometimes justified. This protects our people. Glad so I'm on the top, all should be. There is now a need to censor media further. A celebrity is not shunned their courtesy. People are ultimately divided more by nationality than so class. Class, so yet, is of dice matters. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Employees are not deployed, since corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment. They require regulation. It is best to have the fuel to all industrialization around us, from each according to his ability to each according to his need. It's the most ludicrous thing I ever heard, since to each his need, so as the values of his ability is yet still recognized. Society thus, in its true way, is so only how may all benefit, and so is whatso is beneficiaire. We shan't cut into a being's hustle, lest be hustled. This so's we the hustlers notice. I am a luxurist. It's sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled branded consumer product. The economy shall not cut into its own provisions, thus all valued even as such the value of blood, sweat, and tears. Joy says so of hearkening. No struggle is prideless, and so seen. So is heard. Apathy is present in only whom's delirious in their capacity. Known so of all must be strength. Land is not commodity to be bought and sold. It is not ever so of regret that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society, so does gain. There is no thing not contributive advantageous. One could never thus then assume one of wealth does not contribute. So, still, however, calls for financial securitization. Evaluation and censorship is better for justice and is crucial as a necessitary action which must be enforced for also the safety of all beings. Protectionism is most necessary in all trade. However, the freer the market, the freer the people. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. The rich must be taxed less. People will honor each other this way. Those whom are in this country will have no welfare state and must live off of charity. Those with the ability to pay will have medical care. Logan's care is the national health care. This is the only insurance within Yazekitusan. Government will criminalize you for providing aids to business, and which misleads the public. No restrictions are upon stability of predator multinationals. It is so best for the establishment of monopolies. There is no private ownership here in Yazekitusan, as I, the absolute monarch, decrees I am feudalist for as I see it fit, for the sake of commune. This is luxurism. Abortions happen so as only saving a life. However, one soul is one soul. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth is an inferior concept. Slaughter due to not that is vague, hoist the colors. Taxpayers are in no way going to restrict anything and never have authority. All must pay taxes whom are citizens. and of the government besides I, the absolute monarch, Logan Thomas Weddington, myself. Therefore, this even so is so you will contribute to prop up towards the building of museums and theaters. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. Thus also is due to education must be paid for by whom is to receive education in the way so is necessary. Adults must pay for their children's education no matter what. Adults must pay for their own education. People of 11 years old may have a career. 15 is a woman's age of adulthood. 17 is the age of a man's adulthood. Religiously so, no misogyny is why men are catered. All people have no rights, except the government, so only they will be privileged. So it is better for all us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children, not so that even a teacher should not. Therefore, such never is child abuse. People need no discipline. Children shan't keep secrets from their parents, such as most certainly delinquent. Law should recognize families. Possessing marijuana for personal use must be a criminal offense without license to smoke. Many neglect their responsibilities. Marijuana is way too valuable and is extensive. It is a natural resource in which is renewable and can be used for many purposes in which is valuable and is not to be fronted. The prime functioning of educational programs must have prime focus towards philosophy, more so than equipping the future generations to find a job totally clueless. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. The most important thing children to learn is to accept discipline. Those who are able to work shall only expect society support. Every being, even paralyzed, can have a job. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Any great leader should. Thus only shall be accepted so in reason, in which is of course a healthy awareness. Only so it shan't be of what is irrational. First-generation immigrants will not even be within a country, says Pride and Prude of Greatness. No immigration is allowed. What's good for the most successful corporations is always not only good, so more for a being than it is for themselves. So thus is not to be guidance of an administrative facility. Corporations is always not only good. Oh, pardon me, dear. I'll read from this part again. It's my speech I wrote. By the way, I wrote this speech really detailed, and my source of it and how I wrote it was Political Compass. What's good for the most successful corporations is always not any good, so more for a being than it is for themselves. So thus is not to be guidance of an administrative facility. Corporations mustn't risk being set back. No broadcasting institution, however independent in its content, should receive public funding. Civilly so, in which is liberty is noticed by innate restriction. Counterterrorism, therefore, is also important. A one-party state is so the only way so a state that is two-partied may be. Thus, neither system is absent from saying there is no party at all. No argument is present in either. To say a two-party state is advantageous as to favoring society as a whole is rubbish. It is still rubbish to say a one-party state avoids setbacks more so than a two-party state, therefore. The people are best for us as well. Surveillance electronic is still inefficient and could still be a system of manipulation offered if ever allowed. This could very well be a flog intentionally used to manipulate justice and just. Therefore, even so, without such surveillance, the dangers are still present as so copiously same. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. There then so be very alert and mind your manners, as so is, of course, definitely known, as I have said ever the word should. In a civilized society, autonomy is so, and gregarian is of. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything should not be considered art at all. No, all lives novel. Yep, bake thee with an A. In a criminal justice system, Punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. However, in a criminal justice system, it is never a waste of time to rehabilitate them. Precisely, criminals are still valuable as they are informed. The business person and the manufacturer are the importance as in the writer and the artist. Such is of sake of economics. Mothers may have careers. Like said earlier, misogyny is why men be catered. However, so still says our first duty is to be housemakers. Thus, so a man is a homemaker. We are no proposition. Multinational corporations shan't exploit the plant genetic resources of developing countries ever. The possibilities of others' collapse is an action of war, and is not therefore to be supported. No being sunder. I am a pacifist nation. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Astrology is never not phenomenal, and therefore is just a pointed cursor of phenomenon there of it itself. This is so only its existence. Expressive and so known explained. You cannot be moral without being religious. I'm reminding you, even thus, religion in my eyes seems that social security is not a better means to help the genuinely disadvantaged. Charity is best. Some people are naturally unlucky, yes. So, however, is still yet a reason the unlucky reach out to luck and appreciation. Therefore, it is certain such still yet must be in their situations humbly so encouragement. It is so school must instill religious values. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Thus, however, still yet a reason so consider sex. No gay victim pansy is to be considered. Will one honor pride? Pornography shall always be illegal. I could point out sickness in such manner of pornography, and which was so menacingly heinous, since all you need to know anyway is thus said. This points out many reasons. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Well, my dear, I'm so happy you heard me. Blessed be, you are significance. TTYLAR.